Here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here in DNA HQ. My name is Darren. That is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap. How's it going, AJ?
Dude, I'm doing so good.
I bet you are.
So
I bet
good.
you are. Yeah. Busy week this week.
Yeah. Lots of life events. Going really good, man.
Yeah, lots of life events.
Yeah.
Lots of life events for sure. It's gonna be a good show. We're gonna talk a lot about that. Sorry, not a lot about that. That's your business. We don't need to talk about that unless you actually want to talk about it. But yeah, anyway, lots to talk about this week. We have a little bit of recap of college football, the week that was and the week that will be. We need to talk a little bit about our Utah Hockey Club and how they're doing. And we also have a new player profile this week.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to the Utah Jazz, well, there's only really one thing to talk about this week.
Bummer.
Yeah. Then we'll also break into a little bit of World Series, unfortunately, as we sit right now. It's not going to be a good time for me to discuss the World Series, but, hey, it's always Friday, which I'm not going to be able to watch.
Correct. Friday is the worst possible day for you.
Yeah, but that's okay. Appreciate it, Dodgers, for laying an egg tonight and last night to really put me in that spot, though. Let's go ahead and check the comments. Greg, hey, Greg, great to see you there. Looks like a tough week for Utah sports. Yeah, a little bit.
Brutal.
A little bit.
Brutal week. I was just saying that before we went on. It's like, this has been the worst week ever for watching sports. It's just like every team's losing. We can't get a game anywhere.
With the exception of BYU. BYU's doing fine.
Yeah, but
Real Salt Lake is in the playoffs.
You see this here, Darren?
Yeah.
There's a reason that's above my head.
Yes. I was nice and didn't want to have more Dodger gear on that side.
I appreciate it.
All right. So we'll definitely get into all that, folks. But before, always, as we talk about, we like to do a pre-show cheers. Let's go ahead and start there. So pre-show cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friends.
This week, we are sipping on Buffalo Trace. If you have not seen, we've actually posted a review on this whiskey. It is on the channel. One of the common questions we get asked when we do this show is, what are you guys drinking? So we decided to start doing some whiskey reviews for you. Let us know what you think. Throw up your comment. Drop in the comments there. Throw up in the chat if you guys want us to cover or review a certain type of whiskey. We'd love to chat about it with you. Let's see here. We got another message there from Greg.
Who's like 3 of our teams are on a 4-game losing streak. Yeah.
It's pretty tough.
Yeah. Utes, Jazz, hockey, all lost 4 in a row.
Yeah. Wow. That's tough. I didn't make that connection. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
That made me feel so much better about it.
Yeah. 12 straight losses as a Utah fan.
It's tough.
Can't get a win anywhere.
Yeah. That's tough. All right. So we want to go ahead and jump into the podcast intro, do we?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
This week, we're going to talk the college football game of the week, and that's going to be number 4 Ohio State versus number 3 Penn State.
In the NHL with the Utah Hockey Club on a little bit of a skid. What do we know so far? Plus a player profile on Clayton Keller.
The Utah Jazz have had some rough injury news already. Let's talk about that and how the Jazz are doing so far.
And an update on the Major League Baseball World Series 2024. How's it looking so far? And it looks like the Yankees are making a series out of this. All that more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
Doing great, buddy. Doing great. I'm ready to get into it, man.
Let's get into this for sure. Okay, let's first start with our college football DNA Sports Recap game of the week.
Boom, there it is.
All right, so it is week 10.
We'll put a cool graphic on the screen.
Yeah.
DNA Sports Recap, college football game of the week.
I'm sure you have time to build one of those over the next couple days.
I got you.
Yeah, it's great. Game of the week. So let's go ahead and talk about it. It's week 10 in college football here. We have the number 4 ranked Buckeyes heading to Beaver Stadium to take on the number 3 ranked Nittany Lions of Penn State. Both of these teams are coming off wins last week. Ohio State is getting a win over Nebraska, 21-17, and Penn State took down Wisconsin 28-13. Ohio State is favored in this one on the road, by the way,
which is crazy.
Yep. And this one, they have a 3.5 point favorite, at least at the time of recording. That's what it was. I check those like every time when we do these. Like when I take my notes, I check them day to day to make sure that's And by the time this goes out, it'll probably change anyway. But so 3.5 point favorites going into this one on the road. Ohio State is favored on this one. The over-under line on this one is 47.5. This Ohio State team needs a big win in this one to keep their Big Ten titles hopes alive. Having 2 losses in this conference doesn't seem like it's going to get it done this year.
No, sir, it is not.
Right. So when it comes to that, Penn State is undefeated so far, so a loss would be a lot easier for them to take over Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, Ohio State, this is a really good football team, right? They're defeating opponents on an average margin of 31 points per game right now, which is number 2 in all of college football. They're ranked top 10 nationally on both sides of the ball in success rate, EPA, which is expected points added per play, and points per scoring opportunity. So, I mean, OSU has the 9th overall ranked offense. This team is really, really effective on the offensive side of the ball. Realistically, the only statistical area of weakness that OSU is like kind of bad in is they're allowing a 64% completion rate, which ranks 108th nationally. That's kind of their worst metric, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. When it comes to that, I think that's interesting because when it comes to this game, there's really a few players of mention that I want to bring up. First would be the Penn State's quarterback, Drew Allar. I think I'm saying that right. Aller.
Yeah.
Aller. So Drew Aller, his health is basically being questioned currently. Most are assuming that he will be playing, but he is questionable there. Ohio State did lose their All-American left tackle, Josh Simmons, for the rest of the season.
Huge loss.
Yeah, which will affect their offense. Those kind of big 2 players, big 2 pieces there that stand out to me as far as this team goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and for Ohio State, I mean, Will Howard's their quarterback. He's been healthy. He's been fantastic. Obviously, last year he transferred in from Kansas State University. Kind of hard to argue with that decision at this point. I mean, he's completing a ridiculous number at 74% of his throws right now. He's got a great group of wideouts to kind of work with. And the Buckeyes pass game currently ranks 2nd in success rate. So those guys are having a lot of success throwing the football down the field. And really, I mean, their only loss is to number 1 Oregon. So they're still alive, but they, like you said, they can't take another loss in this game. For Penn State, these guys have really cruised, right? They're 7-0. I mean, their closest game this year so far has been a 33-30 win over. I mean, it was a close game in that game against USC, but their offense has been fantastic. They're 3rd in success rate and 8th in EPA per play. And they have the 13th overall ranked offense. So this is really 2 high-powered offensive and high-powered defensive teams. The Penn State defense has been outstanding this year. They're ranked 4th in overall defense. They're only allowing 267 yards per game, but they have struggled to get to the quarterback. So when they're only averaging a 6% sack rate right now, which is 59th nationally.
Mm-hmm.
When that's your one area of weakness is getting to the quarterback, and you have a team that's as effective as Ohio State in throwing the football down the field, you're going to need to make sure that you bring your A game, because you could get in a lot of trouble if you can't get to him and put some pressure, because they're going to need to apply some pressure to him.
Oh, for sure.
Like you said, Drew Allar, he typically he's under center for Penn State, but Allar did sustain a knee injury last week in that game. So his availability is actually kind of in question for this game. And that actually has caused the line to swing. It's swung almost 3 points since they announced Allar is kind of on a day-to-day. They're not sure if he's going to be available. So if he doesn't go, they do have a great backup, Bo Pribula, not sure on that, but he's completed 29 of his 44 career passes. So he's made 44 career passes.
Wow.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
But he has had, almost 250 yards in those passes. He's really one of those quarterbacks. His strength is all in his legs. He's rushed in his career so far 468 yards, which is good for 6 yards a carry. I think this is going to, if Pribula does end up playing, it is going to help, I think, that team a little bit, right? Because Ohio State is planning on seeing Allar, right? So Aller. I told you how to say it, and then I said it wrong.
So I've heard it both ways.
Yeah. So being the backup, obviously has its advantages. This is a really talented quarterback. So, if he does get the nod, I expect him to be up to the task. This guy's not just going to be thrown in there and completely surprised. He'll be ready. And he could very well add a wrinkle to that OSU defense that they might have trouble accounting for a really mobile quarterback, because that's not what Aller is, right? So I don't know. This game's going to be a dogfight, man. This is going to be the good old fashioned Big Ten matchup. Comes down to a couple of plays in the end of the game, regardless of the quarterback situation. And but I think Penn State being at home, Beaver Stadium is an absolute nightmare for opposing teams to come into. I'm going to predict Penn State 24, OSU 20 on this one.
Okay. I like it.
What do you think?
I don't know, man. I just think the loss of Simmons, this team really is going to be too much for this team to overcome. It's really thrown that offense out of whack for the Buckeyes, losing Simmons. So
yeah,
I definitely think it's going to keep their offense out of whack. I've got Penn State winning this one 28-17.
Oh, nice.
So both of those, I think we're taking the under on that.
Yeah,
47.5.
Yep.
So we're both going under on that one. So that's interesting.
Two great defensive teams, though.
Yes.
So two really, really talented defensive teams. I don't know. I wish that I could watch this one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have significant others that have other plans for us this weekend. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how all that sports is going down this weekend. So we'll see for sure.
Yeah.
McKinley Cutler has a comment in there, and don't worry, we'll get to the previous comment here. Actually, let's cover this one here. Before we get to that, let's see here. I'm doing pretty good. BYU is 8-0, but the Jazz are tanking properly for once. Very true. In the pooper for Cooper. That's a new one. I like that. And all the way, the only bad thing is Taylor's leg injury with Taylor's leg went the wrong way.
The wrong way.
Yeah, we're definitely going to cover that one for sure.
Yeah.
We also had this other comment. This was probably on the Simmons injury there. That injury made me depressed a little queasy.
I think that's probably
the Taylor one.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that for sure. So stay tuned, McKinley, when we get into the Jazz content, because yeah, we're definitely going to cover that for sure. Appreciate the comments there. As a reminder, folks, if you guys watch this live on either YouTube or Instagram, please feel free to jump into the chat and let us know what you're thinking and what we're chatting about for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about this game of the week. This the Ohio State versus Penn State, the number 3 and the number 4 ranked teams coming into this matchup.
Yep.
Sidebar on that one. Why is Penn State number 3?
They haven't lost yet.
Yeah. Why aren't they number 2?
Because I don't know who is number 2.
It's the top 3 is Oregon, and oh my gosh, it's slipping my head right now. Gosh, I had it just at 6. I got to go with my
Georgia.
Head. Yeah, I think it was Georgia.
Oregon, Georgia, Penn State.
But they have a loss. Georgia has a loss.
Correct.
So that's why I'm like, hang on a second. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember, these are just the AP metrics, right? So these are all graded on like strength of schedule and how did you win, and in these AP rankings, all of your style points win. So to go out there and just knock somebody out of the park, like for all we know, Penn State only beating USC 33-30 could be the reason that they're number 3 and not number 2.
I guess that also makes sense because Miami's also 8-0.
Yeah.
So
Iowa State, BYU.
Yeah.
I mean, all undefeated teams.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think that's funny in the top 25 poll rank that you can. So I guess you're right. 6-1. And that one loss was to that's Ohio State. Ohio State lost to Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just thought it was a little weird to not see them in the top 25 above Georgia when they're undefeated in the Big Ten. I guess SEC football just always is, just always.
They're Georgia, man.
That's just how that works for sure. But yeah, so let's go ahead and continue on that, folks. Again, we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about this game. Are you agreeing with us? Do you think that Penn State's going to win this one? Let us know in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we just hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. If you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Now this channel is monetized. We're giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to y'all. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
Yep. Make sure, maybe tune into our live stream. Yeah, check it out. If you're watching on YouTube, one of our short videos, know this is available as a podcast, whole episode. Check it out.
That's right. And also look down at the merch store down below. Check it out.
Yeah, we got good stuff down there.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Check it out. Just hit
Tone it down, Darren.
I got it, man. I was a little amped, man. I'm a little amped. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. All right. So let's go ahead and pivot on over to the University of Utah, shall we?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
so
we should.
yeah, tough loss to Houston there. And we have the bye week coming up for the Utes. Thankfully, this team still has one thing to play for this season for the Utes. So this bye week couldn't come at a better time. What does this team need over this bye week to right the ship?
I mean, this week over bye week, they need to figure out who the hell their quarterback is going to be. I mean, you absolutely have to identify your quarterback and then scheme around him, right? Put him in a position to get into a rhythm, get guys going, get the juices flowing. Because right now, all we're seeing is this ridiculously stagnant offense that there's no good things happening out there, and everybody's feeling the effects of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really tough. And the worst part is this isn't getting any easier for the Utes as this season goes on. Our 4 remaining games, we have BYU, which is currently undefeated,
right?
Colorado, which is, I think they've lost 2 games, one game.
Yeah,
2?
I think they're a 1-loss team.
1 or 2 loss team, Colorado. Iowa State, currently undefeated. And then UCF, which just gave BYU all they could handle in that game. And I mean, BYU comes out and win it, but UCF looked tough. I mean, they look like a really good football team. It's like, oh no, we've got 4 games left. We got to get 2 more. Greg Hawkins said the Dodgers just tied it up.
Greg, don't be playing with me like that, Greg. Greg, come on now.
And Darren just turned the game off because usually we're watching it on our second screen. Darren just turned it off.
Greg, oh
High
my gosh,
five.
Greg. That's awesome, Greg. Appreciate it. Well, I know that I got to keep doing what we're doing here. So really appreciate that. Thank you. Top of the 5th, 5-5. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. But yeah, just to confirm there, it looks like the only loss that Colorado has suffered this year was to Nebraska, 28-10, but they have won every other game. Oh no, they lost to Kansas. So
okay, I was thinking they were 2 lost.
2 lost, 1 in conference.
Yeah.
1 conference loss.
Yep.
So but yeah, so that's another reason why I was asking you over. We were texting back and forth a little bit on how many conference losses. So I was just trying to see if there was any possible way that the Utes can get there. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens for sure. All right. Well, yeah. So I'd have to agree with you, man. I mean, obviously, do you want to break down the Houston game at all?
Yeah. I mean, let's just go over it quick, right? I just got a little line to run here.
Okay.
So if you're looking at the box score on this game,
it looks a lot closer.
There is no way. I'm just going to tell you this box score, and I want you to tell me who you think won. Okay. Utah, Isaac Wilson goes 13 for 22 with 171 yards and a passing touchdown to Brant Keithy, who has 5 receptions for 113 yards, and Mekhi Bernard has 14 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. So that tells me they rushed the ball. Mm-hmm. His 14 yards probably ate up a ton of clocks. They own the time of possession.
Right.
Brant Keithy goes off for a 100-yard receiving game, catches a touchdown. Isaac Wilson does great. Okay, that's great offensive production line. We probably did okay. And then you go to Houston's offensive production line. Zion Chris goes 6 for 13 with 61 yards passing. Excuse me.
You're good.
61 yards passing. Their leading rusher, Jamarian Burnett, had 8 carries for 81 yards, which is a big number, but 81 yards, you're like, okay, that's not terrible.
Not bad,
right?
No.
And then their leading receiver had 1 reception for 28 yards and a touchdown. 28 yards.
Yeah.
You tell me which team you think won that football game off just those individual lines, Darren.
Man, as being a fan of it, yeah.
I can tell you who won. It wasn't Utah.
No, I get that. And my point is, though, is that is definitely a Utah way to lose a game, though.
Yeah.
The way that felt.
And the problem is you go to Houston's line, and yeah, Burnett had 81 yards, but then Sanford too also had 72 yards. Chris rushed for 45, and Snead had 32, which totaled 228 yards against a usually pretty stout Utah rushing defense. Now, obviously, there's some volume yards there, right? They did rush the ball almost 50 times. You're going to get more yards when you rush the ball that many times. But the Utes just couldn't score. I mean, the 2 touchdowns that we had were just there were like little blips here and there. Otherwise, it's just like 3 out punt. Oh, put a couple first downs together, punt. So I don't know, man. I'm excited. I love this Utah football team. I want to see what becomes of this quarterback battle, right? I'm okay with Isaac Wilson. I'm okay with Rose, but I mean, We can even go. We got a senior quarterback on the team that was coming from a very similar situation as Jake Retzloff from BYU. Sam Heward. I mean, this dude's a really talented quarterback. That he's like third string, right? Like he's just sitting there doing nothing, and we're like,
yeah, I don't understand what's going on there. Maybe he's just not performing in practice, I guess, which sounds really lame to say out loud. I know, I'm sorry, but
I don't know.
Yeah, to me, I see that. This is the last thing I want to say about the Utes when it comes to this, and this is, I've said it over and over and over again, that the University of Utah is kind of resting on their laurels and resting on their achievements that they've had over last year. They try to have this bring your lunch pail to work type mindset, and we got to the top of the Pac-12 by hard-nosed defense, running the ball, and basically just beating up our opponents and coming to work every day, blue collar type attitude. But the last 2 years that I've really been focusing with the Utes, I've noticed a lot of bad decision making, either done by the athletic department or by the coaching staff themselves.
Yeah.
Not having an option other than having a true freshman quarterback, or whether or not Cam Wilson was going to be healthy, you really didn't have another option that you were going to use as a third string option for this.
It really didn't feel like it.
Like, it doesn't look like they did. It looks like they just assumed Cam would be ready.
Yeah.
You really thought you were going to, don't get me wrong.
All your chips in on Cam Rising.
You put all of it on Cam. And yeah, Isaac Wilson is doing really well for a freshman quarterback. This is a lot for him to take on. He's an 18-year-old kid who was, should have been in prom, but no, he's committing to Utah. And that's a lot to put on him. I really think it's just short-sightedness of this Utah team. You couldn't find one senior quarterback that they could actually rely on. That
they did find one.
They're not using him.
Yeah.
They're not using him.
Yeah.
So this is just a huge oversight, man. And I just don't understand why. I don't know. I've never seen anything in the history of me watching Cam that proved that he was going to get through an entire season without getting hurt, or at least over the last couple of years. And especially how the season started, I'm like, this guy just won't slide. This guy just won't step out of bounds. He's going to get hurt again. Sure enough, it happened at the game I was at. So I don't know, man. I just think it's an extreme oversight by the University of Utah to not be better prepared for the season than they were.
Yeah.
And last year, the way they kind of catfish the entire fan base on the will he won't he Cam Rising thing every single week.
Yeah, brutal.
And they knew it too. They knew he wasn't playing, and he knew he wasn't playing, how bad that leg injury was. But no, every week, it's a game time decision. You never know. No, I just didn't like it. Bad luck. And I hope that they turn around really quick. I hope they finish the rest of the season out strong with a win over BYU, kind of getting back into the swing of things and see how they can finish this year out, because I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I think we will see a renewed team against BYU. I think that the rough part is none of the players on this roster I feel like they don't really know about the rivalry with BYU. A lot of them don't.
Except for the guy who's hurt sitting on the sideline.
Yeah, we haven't played them. It's like
we did a video on that. Check it out.
Like, yeah, there's like some stuff in the school and that kind of thing, but I don't know. Really, really curious to see. I do think we'll see a good effort from Utah. They'll come out. I sure hope they come out ready to play. It's really, really good BYU team. I'm looking forward to previewing that one next week, and hopefully we learn a little bit more about the quarterback situation, what the offense might look like, and hopefully with that information we can predict at least a competitive football game.
Yeah, what I really think about the BYU Utah game is you could throw records and all the stats out the window, because nothing matters. You could be the last place team in the division and the first place team in the division, which is kind of what it looks like right now. But there's always a chance that the other team's going to beat you, man.
Yep.
In this rivalry,
every single time,
they're always close. Even when the score doesn't look close, they're still close. Let's catch up on some comments here. So
Joshua Brandt, hello, Joshua. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah,
that's my bro right there.
Nice.
Hell of a game so far. Greg Hawkins, our offense is unacceptable. We will need a lot of help in this offseason. We could easily lose out. Exactly my concern. Exactly my concern.
Got to get bowl eligible, man. Yeah. Got to get bowl eligible.
Another factor with Cam was that he would frequently make plays with his legs when would break down. He was limited during their season, even when healthy. Yeah, I mean, that was exactly the problem with Cam. Is he prides himself on being this ultra competitor, and I've said it, and I said it when we first watched those first couple of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's who he wants to be, is this ultra competitor that goes out there and extends plays and puts his team in a position to win. But it does you absolutely no good if you're just out there hurting yourself, and now you see the position that the Utes are in because of it.
Yeah, it's not looking good, man. It's
Yep.
not looking good. But we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think as far as what the Utes are doing this year. Does it look like they're going to be bowl eligible? We want to hear from you. Let us know about the state of your University of Utah and how you guys are feeling on that for sure.
Absolutely, chime in. Let us know.
Should I do the read for the duel, or should we just let that one go?
For which one?
That video we tried to record 3 times in a row.
Oh,
we just let that go the next week.
Yeah, just because we've done it 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
Anybody that was watching last week's like, why did they keep saying this?
Oh, this was like 3 people over last week. But no, that's fine. It's probably be better to record it next week anyway. So we'll save it.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
All right, perfect. Well, again, let's go ahead and move on over to talk a little bit about Utah hockey. Is that what we want to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I can't find where my stuff is here. I don't know why I'm scrolling. I can use my mouse. I don't know what I'm doing.
I can use mine too. Don't judge me.
Can you scroll up and down?
I can if my mouse would click onto the screen. I don't even know where it is. It's gone.
It was a running joke for him that he has to touch the screen and that. But anyway,
where is it?
Oh. All right, let's go ahead and move on and talk a little bit about your Utah Hockey Club. All right, so now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about your Utah Hockey Club here. Got to say, it's not looking good for your boys in light blue right now on the ice.
Yeah, it's been a rough 4 games, huh?
Yeah, they've lost 4 straight. They have now fallen 2 spots in the Western Central Division, 2-6. With the play to 6th place, with their record being 4-4 in 10 games. Really sucks when your team's on the wrong side of history. We were actually the team that gave the San Jose Sharks their first win this season.
Their first win, yeah.
So that's painful.
Not a great place to start. We don't like that.
Yeah, definitely don't like that at all. Let's see. We got a comment there. Utah Hockey Club is clubbing the Flames right now. Okay, good.
Hey, there we go. Great news. We were kind of burning up the Sharks the other night, though.
Yeah, that
didn't actually end very well. So yeah. I mean, Utah Hockey Club, they're 4-4-2 at the time of recording, which is right now.
Mm-hmm.
This team started so explosive, and then it just kind of jumped out. And the fact is, we lost 4 in a row, but there's going to be growing pains with this team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just what it is. Some nights it's just going to feel like we can contend. Oh, hey, this team could go somewhere. This could be somebody. Like, I love watching this team. And there's going to be other nights where you're just going to ask, what is going on? All there is to it.
For sure.
Yeah, this team is just really young. We really can't forget that. It takes time to build a hockey team. Star players are usually in their mid-20s, mid to late 20s is kind of when they start peaking and going through some of that stuff. And
yeah, similar to the NBA.
Logan Cooley and Dylan Gunther are 20 and 21 years old right now. So those guys, we have to give them some time to kind of learn what it takes to be an NHL player, right? They're still just really young. This is a league with the best professional hockey players in the whole world, right? And they've won some big games and they've lost some tough games, and it just shows that we got some growing to do. So this team's just still in the rebuild. Yeah, we got to take some of these. It takes some teams 4 to 5 years to get to a Stanley Cup position where they're really competing. And we're just not there yet. We're 2 to 3 years into this rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously 1 year into having a hockey club period. So yeah, last year they gave up a lot of goals. They went all in on defense, and in the offseason, they went in all, they went all in.
Right.
Let's go get some defensive players. Let's see what we can do to fix that. But you just got to stay tough.
For sure.
Not get too upset about it. And there's always going to be odd bounces of the puck. You're going to have weird goals because some of these goals don't even feel like they're the goalie's issues. You know what I mean? Like,
well, there's a little bit of issue there between the pipes there for sure. But we got Greg Hawkins kind of stepping right on my notes here. That Jersey injury. That Jersey injury really hurt us, as well as Marino. He's been hurt too. Yep. Absolutely. So that's kind of just where I'm sitting. Right now it's really just been our defense, man, just been beat up so far this game, so far this season. Luckily, we are seeing some reinforcements coming our way. The Red Wings made a trade with the Utah Hockey Club. We're getting defenseman Ollie Mata. Hopefully I'm saying that right. For a 2025 third round draft pick. Sean Jersey Druzy, I can't believe I can't say his name right.
Dursey
is out indefinitely with a shoulder surgery and will be missing 4 to 6 months. So that's pretty much the whole season. So we'll see you next year. He was the leading scoring defenseman in the league last year for Arizona, which hurts a lot. Then we also lost, like you mentioned, John Marino before the season even started with lower back surgery. He's out 3 to 4 months. So yeah, just a lot of skates falling early in this season for us. So
yeah,
I think once that kind of gets cleaned up a little bit, hopefully with the reinforcements, we'll see our luck turn around. And we finish off the season strong we'll finish off the first half of the season strong. We still got 25 games, 30 games in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, we just got to keep supporting this team, keep showing up, enjoying our first year in the NHL. I mean, you got to remember the NHL is one of those leagues that anybody can beat anybody on any night. It's a lot like the NFL. It's a lot like the NBA, right? Let's just keep showing up and showing the country why Utah deserves to have an NHL team. You know what I mean? Keep being there for our team. So we can do it.
We're going to mention this twice here in this run here, so I'm going to touch about it first. Just a quick comment for you guys there. Utah Hockey DNA is a channel we put together specifically for your Utah Hockey Club. All of our hockey content will be placed on this channel first. So if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for this channel. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be giving away one of those sweet new Utah Hockey Club sweaters. So be sure to check out the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, a link to this channel will be linked down in the description below.
Absolutely.
We just added a sick hoodie with this logo on it, so be sure to check out our merch store.
You need one.
Absolutely. It's going to look awesome. It's perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about let's do a player profile for one of our Utah Hockey Club players, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go ahead and kick off the DNA Sports Recap player profile for Clayton Keller. So Clayton Keller was born on June 29th, 1998. Oh, that makes me feel so old.
You are old. I'm sorry, Darren. I don't want to be the one to break it to you.
I was in high school when this kid was born, man. Anyway, so June 29th, 1988 in Chesterfield, Missouri, and was raised in Swansea, Illinois. The Keller family Keller grew up playing hockey with his younger brother, Jake, in their basement, which they actually decorated to make it look like a hockey rink. His parents, Brian and Kelly Keller, supported their passion for the sport. Keller's interest in ice hockey began at the young age of 3 when his mother took him to a high school game. He joined a group of young hockey players in the St. Louis area, including future NHL players such as Luke Apalika. None of these names I can say, so I'm just going to roll through it with some other future NHL players. We got Luke Apalika, Luke Kunin, and Matthew Tkachuk. I don't know, man. I just can't. I can't. But anyway, so Keller participated in a prestigious Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament in 2010 and 2011, showcasing his early talents. Now, when it comes to his prep school years, Keller attended the Shattuck St. Mary's and reowned and basically, I don't know what I was thinking there. So he attended the Shattuck's St. Mary's hockey prep school. He also performed well during this time. He scored 58 goals in 2012, 2013, demonstrating his scoring ability and offensive skills. He joined the USA National Hockey National Team Development Program, known as the USNTDP. I don't know why they made an acronym like that. That's impossible to get through. When your acronym passes 4 letters, you might as well just give up.
Yeah, it's really not helpful. Just spell it out.
Yeah. So he joined the program in 2014, and he played in the U17 and U18 teams. Recording record-breaking performances, he set the performance record for 189 points in 2 seasons, highlighting his playmaking ability and scoring prowess. He went to Boston College. He attended Boston University for 1 season in 2016, where he played for the Terriers. He was named the Hockey East Rookie of the Year and won the Tim Taylor Award and was a top NCAA Division I rookie. Keller's earlier career was marked by exceptional talent and dedication to the sport, setting the stage for his successful transition into professional hockey. So when it comes to that, let's go ahead and pivot into his NHL career. He was drafted 7th overall by the Arizona Coyotes in 2016 NHL entry draft. He made his debut in 2016 and 2017 season for the Coyotes. Known for his speed and playmaking ability, Keller has consistently improved on his performance over the last several years with the Arizona Coyotes. He's been a key player for the Coyotes and contributing at a significant level in terms of goals and assists. Recently, staying with the team, they made their move from Phoenix to Utah. He was named the inaugural season of the Utah Hockey Club's captain, and he's off to a great start as captain with 5 goals, 4 assists on 9 points through the first 15 games of the season. As the team continues to catch the eye of the national hockey media, we here at DNA HQ will keep our eyes on the captain, number 9.
Absolutely. Just signed a big contract too, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say that?
No.
I was kind of listening. I zoned out for a second. I was looking at our comments. But yeah, I mean, Clayton Keller just signed an 8-year in 2020. He signed a 20 contract through 2027, 8-year, $57.2 million. That was obviously signed with the Coyotes. So, I mean, average annual salary of $7.15 million. And he's just such a great dude. I mean, if you've listened to the interviews on this stuff, he obviously, as a hockey player, he's got excellent offensive instincts. He's got a great hockey sense. He was named the captain for a reason. He does what's asked of him. He's a great leader. And yeah, me as well. I look forward to watching him in a UHC uniform for years to come, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of Clayton Keller as the captain of your Utah Hockey Club. Like I said, he's off to a great start. All things considered, how the team's been playing lately. Hopefully they turn that around.
Yeah.
But we'd love to hear from you for sure. Let us know what you think of your captain. Once again, folks, we do have a brand new channel that we developed for our Utah hockey team called Utah Hockey DNA.
Perfect timing. Did you see that?
All of our hockey content will be posted here first. So if you have not yet, be sure to check out that channel. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, a link to that channel will be in the description below. So be sure to check it out. It's having a little bit too much fun with that for sure. Let's go ahead and get to some of the comments here. Let's go to that. So where are we at there, man?
Right there.
That's what we're at.
Utah Hockey Club is. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Vesia can't finish. Loading. Vesia can't finish loading out the bases. He got okay, and then he got it. Okay, these are Dodger highlights. I'm not going Vesia. He's a reliever for the Dodgers. That's great. Good. Glad to know we burned through both of our left-handed relievers already this game. So that's fantastic. All right. So let's go ahead and pivot on over to talk about our Utah Jazz, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. So with that said, here, let's go ahead and do the graphic for all our folks watching here. What am I doing, man? What am I doing?
I don't know. You're lost.
I'm lost in an ocean of melancholy. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and break down your Utah Jazz. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz. We wanted to do basically what we want to do is originally what the purpose for this video was to do first week of the season so far, but that's not what we're going to talk about right now. We got to talk about the three-legged elephant in the room. Let's go ahead and talk about the horrific.
Really hate three-legged elephants, especially when they're in the room with you. That's the absolute worst.
Yeah, well, I figured a three-legged one was better seals the whole, metaphor there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the main story there, which is the season-ending injury to Taylor Hendricks.
Yes. This is. I'm not sure. I mean, the problem with this. Sorry, I'm really stuttering over my words here. I was trying to figure out where I wanted to start.
2 seconds. That's like 2 sentences for me. You're good to go.
Yeah. The big thing is this slows down the rebuild process for Utah significantly, right? Because we were relying on 82 games of Taylor Hendricks growing and maturing and playing NBA speed and learning from his mistakes. this is a guy that we were really starting to count on for his defensive prowess, for his ability to spread the floor because he's been shooting it okay.
Mm-hmm.
But really his defense, he's become such a prime defender. He was our number one. He's guarding the best player on the floor. This hurts the Jazz immensely. He's been that guy for us this year. We really needed him to continue to come through. But on the flip side, I am really, really excited to see how Cody Williams responds to this. I do think that Cody Williams is going to pick up a lot of these extended minutes. And it's just a huge opportunity for him, right? I mean, it's going to come with a lot of defensive responsibility, obviously, because that's who Taylor Hendricks was for this team. And I'm curious to see if Cody can pick up that slack that we lose with Taylor off the floor.
Right.
Because just in the short time where Taylor goes off the floor, like obviously just in minute changes, right? Cody hasn't been great. But I think they're going to say, hey, we need you. We need your size. We need your skill set to come out. He does have great vision, and he isn't scared to make a pass to the corner, right? Like Cody's played some really good basketball so far. So if he can continue to excel in this role, I think we could see, we need to take advantage of this opportunity of not having Taylor and use it for the exact same opportunity in Cody.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you there, man. I agree for sure. I mean, so when it comes to that, Taylor Hendricks did fracture his right fibula and dislocated his ankle Monday against Dallas Mavericks. Did you see the play, by the way?
I did not, and I have not even Googled it because I've heard it's not worth seeing because it's pretty bad.
It's not as bad as the Hayward one.
No.
Doesn't look as bad, but if you you won't want to watch it a third time. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
You watch it, you're like, is that it? And then you watch it again, you're like, oh, so what's really concerning about to me on that was that there wasn't any impact whatsoever on this. It feels like he just hit something slippery on the floor. He went down, his leg went the wrong way, and it just all fell apart. I don't know. It seems like there's something more to that injury than just the fact that he broke it. Like that was worse than Dante Exum tearing his MCL and ACL going off of just coming up for a rebound and coming down on it. Like that was no impact, but this was literally, he wasn't jumping. He was literally just
running down the floor
and took a step and just slipped and the leg just went underneath him and went all funky, So I don't know, man. It's just, so that's unfortunate. I would say that was probably going to be the biggest story of the week so far is that he's down. Again, when it comes to this, we wanted to talk about what was surprising, what stood out this week. Anything outside of that injury that was a surprise to you that jumped out this week?
Yeah, I mean, I watched some absolutely terrible defense, some really slow, poor closeouts, and a lot of that allowed a ton of barely or non-contested shots. I mean, teams are just pretty much running the floor, lobbing it up, getting easy looks at the rim. The rebounding, we really missed Taylor in the rebounding department, right? But that's kind of some of the bad stuff that stuck out. The good news that stuck out is Kyle Filipowski showed up and absolutely showed out last night. I mean, the dude came in, I think he had 12 points, 8 rebounds in 25 minutes. He showed
that was against Sacramento, right?
Yeah. But he actually looked like he can compete at the NBA level. He makes good decisions. He's a willing passer, which the Jazz need more of because as of right now, everybody on the Jazz team is looking to shoot the ball as soon as they get it or dribble it in and get a shot up. Everyone's fighting for their own shots in this offense, which is really, really difficult to watch. But Filipowski's a willing passer. He catches it and he's looking for a first smart pass rather than, hey, can I get a shot here?
Yeah, no,
it's really refreshing.
It is. We got some comments here. Let's hit them real quick. McKinley Cutler said, Cody and Flip looked good together, and the Kings game, and Walker has looked like a rookie. Looked like the rookie Walker. Yeah. So this year he's looked a lot like his rookie year. Keontae has not shot the ball well, but his 11 assists and his 11 assists. So he's had 11 assists in 2 games. Is that what that was? Am I reading that wrong? 11 assists and 11 assists. I'm reading that right? But yeah, so when it comes to that there, we also have another comment there from Greg that says Keontae needs to increase his accuracy. Keontae has looked like he made a massive improvements in game management. So yeah, on that one, McKinley, 100% agree. Watching this guy play over the summer league this year and then watching him in the preseason, he definitely looks like that has helped him with his confidence coming into this season. he's getting the most minutes out of any player that is not named Larry Markkinen on the team, and next with this that's still playing anyway. Obviously, Taylor Hendricks had the most minutes at averaging 28 minutes per game, but he's down. So the next one after him would be Keontae George. So we also have another one here from McKinley, says Cody looks really good. Looks like a really good player. Makes the right play more than not. That is kind of crucial, man, when it comes to an NBA rookie, for sure. Now, true when it comes to that though. This is true. This is true to Ainge and Hardy's words, where they said we're definitely going to see a youth movement right now. But I'm a little surprised that we're not seeing that. The teams that have the majority of the minutes there, you'd think if we're going to be doing it this badly, you weren't going to see,
John Collins taking up 20 minutes a night, Colin Sexton taking up 20 minutes a night, Jordan Clarkson taking up 18 minutes a night.
Yeah, I think the only player not named Taylor Hendricks that has more than 20 minutes per game is Keontae.
Yeah,
and that's not a start. It's not a starter from last year. So I don't know, man. I was a little surprised to see that. But the only real surprise to me that was also going to be the injuries. We're 4 games in. Markkinen is missed the second half. He's day-to-day with his lower back. Of course, the Hendricks injury, season ending. And also Isaiah Collier has yet to make his season debut with getting a hamstring injury in the playoffs. We are 4 games in and we're down 3 players.
Yeah. And you said playoffs, but I know you meant preseason.
Right. We're 3 games in the regular.
But yeah, I mean, I think with Larry, to be completely honest with you, I think Larry could sneeze wrong and they would be like, you got 3 games off.
I don't know, man. I was going to say that. I don't think this one's an IA. I don't think this one's a phantom IL stint.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's probably got a back spasm, but I'm telling you, they're not going to risk anything with Larry Markkinen this year.
Yeah,
especially after you just lost Taylor Hendricks for the whole year.
That's my point, though. With him being with him getting a hurt here and there. By the way, you need to refill over there.
I know you're depriving me of my whiskey privilege.
I'm just saying. No, you got to refill, man. You're getting low there.
No, look at this.
Yeah,
this is horrible. You guys see this?
Yeah, it's not good news. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think this one. That's the concern I have with all these phantom IL stints. These minor injuries are going to keep him out. I think that it would make him more injury prone going forward. I don't want to see that.
I'm not sure I agree with that. I think Larry has been he has been a really versatile player for most of his career. He has not really battled injuries, but I think that they are going to do everything they can within this season to make sure that Larry stays 100% healthy. I don't know if him being on the court every single night is going to impact that, because you don't know if he's practicing or not. I mean, he could still be going. Does he need minutes in these games? The only thing that he gives us in minutes in these games is he makes it so that we don't lose by 50 every single night. Right. He keeps the games within like 10 to 20 points. I mean, John Collins has actually played really well coming off the bench. Shot the 3-ball really good in the Mavericks game. I mean, and really his shooting kept us within 10 points most of the second half. So, I mean, I think not starting him has kind of really changed his outlook on the game. But I mean, when it comes back to Laurie, I think these guys are in the games just to keep it so that it's a watchable basketball game. And they really are focusing on getting these guys on the floor, knowing you can't put these guys on the floor for 20 and 30 minutes at a time, because guess what's going to happen? It's going to be a massacre.
Oh, for sure. The one thing I think about the Markkinen injury, though, is that it did seem like it was kind of happened in the game. But if you look at after having a great season opener where he scored like 27 something points or something like that, was a really efficient shooting. In the loss to Golden State, he shot 23%, and in the loss to Dallas, he shot 27%. The last 2 games before that was not playing well for Larry Markkinen. So hopefully this is just a back spasm issue and they can get that squared away. I look forward to seeing him back on the court and look forward to seeing the Jazz really kind of develop this team, Yeah. And I really want to see what these rookies have, and hopefully Isaiah comes back. Because again, one of the big things about that first draft, that first year of the rebuild, was going to be Taylor Hendricks. He was our first draft pick,
number 10.
And he was, probably the highest draft pick we've gotten since Dante.
Yeah.
And to have him go down and lose him for a season, it's just another shot of that, man. We definitely need to hopefully make something out of this year. So far, so good. We are the only team in the Western Conference without a win. So we're right where we want to be. Portland keep winning.
Just like McKinley said, You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're actually doing the rebuild right this year.
In the pooper for Cooper. I love it.
Yeah,
That's going to be the new one. That's
Killing
going to be the new one for sure. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about your Utah Jazz and how they're starting the season. Are we looking for just improvement on the young players there and seeing how well we can improve our draft stats? Or what are you guys watching when you're watching these Jazz games? What's keeping you excited? What's keeping you tuned in? As a reminder, folks, we did launch Utah Jazz DNA. This is a channel specifically for your Utah Jazz content. We have a link to this channel in the description below if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap. We will be giving away one of those sweet new Utah Jazz Road Black Mountain jerseys once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that giveaway. And like I said, smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Boom, I appreciate it.
All right. So let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball, shall we?
I don't know. Do you want to? I mean, you were the one that was just nervous, and now you heard the Dodgers are back in this thing, and now you're ready to talk about it again.
Well, as long as I'm not watching it, I think it'll be okay.
Like, so you just can't turn it on because obviously when you were watching it, the Dodgers were getting killed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can't help but notice. So for the first 3 games, okay, let's do this. Let's talk Major League Baseball. Okay, so
are you not going to say anything about my lighting changes this episode? Nothing.
Fantastic. Just wanted to clean up my editing a little bit, but that's okay.
I mean, the fact
let's give you some praise and increase my editing.
Thank you. Please leave a comment on my lighting changes. I would really appreciate it.
Just fantastic.
I want you guys to know, like, they
just didn't drop anything this time.
Didn't nail it. Nothing's fallen off the table. Like, you guys are welcome.
Everybody's,
high quality show we're producing here.
It's fantastic, man. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. Doing great, AJ, for sure.
Thanks, Darren.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it there. Now, just so you know, again, the World Series, we did our preview video. For those of you who checked it out, thank you very much for previewing that, where we said this was going to be the biggest World Series of all time. That actually lived up to bill so far. This is the most watched World Series game. At least game 1 was the most watched World Series game in the last, I think, 25, 30 years.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't know. Why don't you go ahead and break it down?
Yeah. So, I mean,
you want to have me a cup and I'll fill you up?
That would be excellent. So, obviously, we're through 4 games, right? We're through 4 games. And through the first 3 games, the Yankees offense was absolutely miserable. They managed to score 7 runs in 3 games. They were batting 186, slugging an anemic 294, and had performed and pretty much performing 37% below average offensively. So these guys were really struggling. Obviously, the first 3 games, the Yankees scored 3 ninth inning runs, only to reduce LA's lead, and scored another run in the 10th of game 1. Mm-hmm. So in the first 8 innings of these games, the Yankees scored only 3 runs over 24 innings.
Wow.
Which is just crazy. And to add on to add in a little bit of insult to injury there, New York was 4 for 20 overall with runners in scoring position over those first 3 games. So they really struggled. Obviously, up until tonight, Aaron Judge, through his first 3 games, he went 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position and only got his first RBI in game 4.
Right.
When he drove in that last run for the Yankees in like the 6th or whatever that was. So far this postseason, Aaron Judge has chased non-strikes out of the zone at a rate right around 40%. So he's really having trouble laying off pitches that are outside of the strike zone. And the Dodgers are just absolutely baiting him with it. I mean, they just continue to throw pitches that are ending outside the strike zone. He's chasing and up to that point for the first couple of games, he just really struggled with it. So I do want to say of the 41 teams to fall behind 3-0 in a best of 7 postseason series, the Yankees are only the 10th team to even avoid a sweep. Mm-hmm. Only the 10th team. And of the previous 9 to do so, 4 managed to force a game 6 and only 2 managed to force a game 7. And neither of those examples occurred in a World Series.
Yeah.
So obviously the Yankees do get game 4 victory, right? That ends 11-4. Mm-hmm. It got out of hand. It was actually a really close game until the Yankees just exploded and put a bunch of runs on him. But my question to you is, How did the Dodgers make it look so easy through 3 games?
I don't think they made it easy. I just think the Yankees bought the narrative that the Yankees starting pitching was going to be better than the Dodgers starting pitching.
Yeah.
I mentioned in our previous video, I was much more confident in the Dodgers starting pitching this series than I was the previous series, just because they've proven to be able to, pitch a good game when they needed to. Unfortunately, that didn't work out today with the Flaherty. He has one bad game, one good game, one bad game, one good game.
Absolutely.
Today was the bad game.
1-1. Yeah.
Didn't make it through 9 batters. So that wasn't great. But yeah, when it comes to that, I think that was just kind of the big part there. The Dodgers just figured out a way to leverage the starting pitching to the best that they could. They saved Walker Buehler for the cold game in New York, which is what made him perform well against the Mets too. And he absolutely just, threw a perfect little gem there for sure. I just think that's really kind of the big piece there is that what's going on over there?
Just saying Instagram disconnected after an hour.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Oh, we had 2 people joining too. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Over there on Instagram. But yeah, so when it comes, let's break it down game by game. So in game 1, though, the Yankees pretty much had control of that game the majority of the game. I don't think the Dodgers had a lead until and then they got
in the 10th, right?
In the 10th, yeah. So the Yankees blew the lead twice in that game. So they had the lead going in. They had the lead going into the bottom of the 9th. The Dodgers tied it, and then they had the lead going into the 10th. And then the Dodgers ended up doing a walk-off win, which was, by the way, an instant classic if you watch that game. That one is amazing. There's been a lot of comparison of that game to the Kirk Gibson home run in 1988. As Joe Davis called it, even the same way, she is gone as it goes over the field.
Right.
Over the other right field. The ball was hit in the same spot. It was also done by another player who's hobbled, injured.
Poetic justice, man.
Exactly. And you want to know the funny thing about that is? In 1988, Game 1 of the World Series, when Kirk Gibson hit that home run over the left field wall, it was 8:37 p.m. Guess what time Freeman hit his home run?
Just for the sake of comical relief, I'm going to say 4:22 p.m.
He hit it exactly 8:37 p.m.
Damn, I was so close.
Yeah, same spot of the field. Walk-off win in Game 1 of the World Series, hit at the exact same time of night.
So, magical, man.
Yeah.
Magical.
So if you're a pitcher and you're at Dodger Stadium at Game 1 of the World Series, just hold on to the ball for about a minute when you look at the clock. Check your watch, see what time it is.
Yeah.
Just be on the safe side. So that game was an instant classic for sure. Absolutely loved it. The Dodgers really did get to Rodon the next game there. He didn't really have his best outing there. His ERA is 10.8. I believe he lasted 3 1/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs.
That one got out of him pretty quick.
Yeah, did have 3 strikeouts though, so that's always nice. But the Dodgers were able to take care of business there and basically just after, and then Yamamoto just shoved. Had a great inning. Sorry, great game on that. 1.4 ERA, 6 1/3 innings. Gave up 1 hit, just 1 hit, which was the home run, and just pitched absolutely brilliantly. So hopefully we could see another good start from him.
Yeah.
So just did really well, man. Did really well, and obviously Walker Buehler shut him down in New York the first night. And again, one thing I cannot say enough about this World Series is I got one thing very, very wrong. I said in this World Series coming up to this game, because Judge obviously woke up in this game, but before that I said Judge wasn't hitting well in the playoffs. Freddie Freeman was injured. I thought those two would be bad, and the other two were playing well for both of the big threes. So Stanton and Soto were playing well, and on the Dodgers, Mookie and Ohtani were playing well. So I thought those big three would cancel out. Boy, did I get the one that was playing bad wrong.
Yeah,
gosh. So Ohtani is 1 for 17 in the postseason going into this game.
Struggling.
Yeah, both him and Judge had the exact same stat line going into Game 4.
Ouch.
Which is not great. Obviously, So Shohei Ohtani injured his shoulder.
He's battling a shoulder injury for sure.
So that's not going to help him. So any Dodgers fans hoping for a magic Ohtani moment in the World Series, don't hold your breath, man. That's not going to happen. It's just he doesn't look good up there. He's taking bad shots, bad swings. So hopefully the rest of the team can pick him up. But yeah, in Game 3, it was great to see that they kind of shoved there. The Yankees did make it interesting in both of the previous games to bring it up. And last night, man, Game 4. I don't know, man. It looks like to me that Dave Roberts just kind of punted that game probably in like the 3rd inning.
A little too early.
A little too early. The Dodgers
Yeah.
had the lead off of Freddie Freeman home run. Shocker, right? And I want to get back to that here in a minute. But they were up 2-1 in the third. Daniel Hudson was on the mound. He walked a guy, beaten the guy, and gave a single and loaded the bases, right? At that point, you'd think you would, bring in an arm before he loaded the bases.
Do something.
Your team has the lead. You go for the jugular, man. Just burn all your arms. I know the concept, the argument is it's like, oh, if you used all your high leverage arms, they could have scored there anyway. You don't know what would happen if, get it to game 6, then your high leverage arms can
or they grounded a double play and it cost you 1 run.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So there's just a whole lot there that I just think that Dave Roberts has mentioned it in the playoffs previously that he's okay with giving up a game. He's like, I just got to win 4 out of 7.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And nobody wants to hear that because, that's not done well for the Dodgers in the postseason very well. But, you can't argue with it. It has worked for him so far. And I definitely do think the Dodgers had a chance to win that game, and they just let that one go. And I think that was a managerial decision, not necessarily on the players. So I don't know. We're in the top of the 7th right now, and I believe the Yankees are ahead by 1. So we'll see how this one ends. End of the 6th. The Yankees up by 1. So we'll see how this one ends. But yeah, really looking forward to the rest of the series. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to watch it. We got a comment there from Tammy Price, friend of the channel, Tammy Price, saying
friend of the channel, Tammy Price. That's right.
Yeah. So appreciate it. Thanks for the update there, Tammy. But yeah, one thing I want to get back to is Freddie Freeman. Fredward. Freddie effing Freeman right now, man. I mean, that's Walker effing Bueller. That's his thing. But
Fredward Freemanson.
So Freddie Freeman. Now, boy, did I call this one wrong. Do you know what happened yesterday?
He set World Series record history.
Yeah.
With 6 consecutive home runs.
In 6 consecutive World Series games, starting back when he was a Brave.
Love that. Love that. Love that part of the stat.
Yeah. So yeah, you do have something going on in this postseason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the only time we're getting mentioned.
Yeah,
is when Freddie Freeman's hitting home runs.
Yeah. So yeah, 6 consecutive home runs with the world's 6 consecutive games with a home run. So congratulations, Freddie Freeman, on that. Basically, the guy who shouldn't be doing anything is literally carrying this team on his back by hitting bombs. Ohtani, his shoulders out, not doing much. Mookie's doing what he can.
And he only missed by like 1.5 feet tonight.
Yeah.
On that first swing. Or that second swing, probably.
Looked good.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we'll see how that goes. I do want to cover one more thing on Major League Baseball, and that's this stuff, man. We talked about it a lot during the offseason about Ohtani and where he's going, and all the talks about how the media is just jumping the gun and just doing a terrible job at what they're doing. The traditional media is kind of just making it almost impossible to listen to him. Shy of Jeff Passan, I don't know if there's anybody in baseball that I actually care to follow on Twitter anymore. Did you hear what John Heyman said?
I didn't.
Okay, so in the middle, so there's this thing in sports, and it happens in the NBA too, that each like agency and each agent has their talking head puppet for the media.
Right.
So when they leak something, they want to leak it to them so they can get it out. So it looked like it was pretty much for Juan Soto, it was pretty much between the Yankees and the Mets. They're going to really try and go for Soto. That's kind of been the going thing there. But Scott Boras didn't want that. So he had his puppet, John Heyman, drop a line saying, hey, the Dodgers are interested in Juan Soto. And so for the off day, we saw all these videos and all these articles pop up about the Dodgers are in on Juan Soto. And I was just like, come on, man. It is the middle of the World Series. And you're throwing this up right now? Like, come on, man. That's just bad.
We did a great video on Scott Boras and his contract negotiations over the summer. Go back, check that one out.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining.
I'm sorry, man. This was just a release piece just to try and drive up his client's free agent value in the middle of the World Series. He's like, he's in the middle of his World Series. He's going to try and keep his mind right. He's been doing well. Let me mess with his head and have a bunch of reporters ask him about the Dodger rumors in the offseason. Like, this was just a play for Boras and his agent to try and and his agency to try and make a play to drive up his thing. If you read the article that John Heyman reached out, you know what his sources are?
Anonymous.
No, his sources say, sources familiar with the way the Los Angeles Dodgers think. So congratulations, AJ. You're now a source.
You're welcome.
For John Heyman.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty familiar with the way the Dodgers think.
I just think that's absolutely unnecessary and absolutely stupid. I don't like that. There's no rumors connecting the Dodgers to Juan Soto. And even if they wanted to, that's definitely not something they're going to be telling John Heyman about it. It's just another thing where you're muddying up the waters, where agents are just ruining sports, man. I can't, they just can't let the kids play ball.
Nope.
Stick into your winter meeting, stick to your free agent deadline. Just stay out of it, man.
Yep. That's all we ask.
Absolutely hate it.
Let us just enjoy some baseball. Fall classic, man.
Yeah, of course the Dodgers are going to be in on Juan Soto on first free agency. They're going to make a phone call. They're going to ask what it takes, and that's probably going to be it, you know?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's all I have to say on that. But we want to hear from you folks. Let us know in the comments down below what you think as far as Major League Baseball. How is the World Series going for you so far? Are you a Yankees fan? Are you liking them actually putting up a fight on this one and getting game one and getting a game in on game 4 and putting up a good fight here in game 5? We want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments down below.
Absolutely. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available as a podcast in its entirety. Check it out. We'd appreciate all the likes and comments and reviews and all that kind of stuff on the podcast too.
Absolutely. Slap us some engagement and check out our merch down below for sure. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. More to come.
Do it.
Absolutely. With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.